Chumlee drove down a deserted road in the late afternoon. The sunset, slowly falling, dyeing the clouds in the sky golden. He had had a long day, attending a few meetings and working at the store, now just looking for a moment of peace on this deserted road. Suddenly, a strange sight caught his attention. From afar, he saw a woman sitting on the side of the road, under a small tarp, surrounded by handmade crafts, such as bracelets, scarves, and small ornaments. She was trying to attract the attention of passing drivers, but no one seemed to stop. Chumlee found himself drawn to the sight, not because of the crafts, but because of the way the woman sat alone on the side of the road, her eyes showing resilience but also disappointment. Beside her, a boy of about 4 years old, with a small, sad face, sat silently beside his mother. He did not act mischievous like the other children. Instead, he just sat there, occasionally looking at her, looking around, as if waiting for something he could not understand. Chumlee felt a strange urge. He could not explain why, but there was something about the scene that made him stop. He slowed down and then pulled the car to the side of the road. He opened the car door, got out, and approached. "Hello," Chumlee said softly. The woman looked up, her eyes flashing with surprise, then quickly retracted. She looked at him with wariness, but also a bit of expectation. She was said to the uninterested looks, the glances. "Hello," she replied, her voice soft, carrying fatigue, but also a bit of doubt. "You sell these?" Chumlee pointed to the tarpaulin, where the crafts were neatly arranged, but didn't seem to attract much traffic. Yeah, the woman replied, her voice a little light. "These are the crafts I make. Bracelets, scarves, little ornaments." Shh! Chumlee looked around. The place was strangely quiet, with only the sound of the wind blowing and a few cars passing by. This girl, sitting alone on the side of the road with her son, made him feel a void in his heart. He couldn't help but feel sympathy. Chumlee looked at the bracelets and the cute little ornaments. "These look amazing," and Chumlee said, then looked up at her intently. "Have you been selling these for long?" Shh! The woman sighed softly, her eyes lingering on the crafts, as if they carried a part of her life. "I've been trying to sell these for a while, but no one usually stops for long. I've tried everything to attract attention, but today was like every other day. No one stopped." She paused, then added, "I am a single mother. I'm trying to sell them to make money for my son and to cover other expenses, but it's not easy." Shh! Chumlee heard the weariness in her voice, and he felt as if every word she spoke carried an unspoken anxiety. Chumlee looked at the boy, then back at the woman. He smiled, gently asking, "Excuse me, what is your name? And is this child your son?" Shh! Sarah looked up, her eyes soft and sad, but also filled with boundless love for her child. "My name is Sarah," she replied, her voice soft, "and this is Jack, my son." She looked at the boy, waving, "Jack, say hello." Shh! The boy looked up, his sparkling black eyes fixed on Chumlee, and he slowly waved. "Hello," Jack said softly, his voice sounding innocent and pure. Chumlee looked at the boy, still sitting silently beside his mother, his big dark eyes flickering, but there was something in that look that made Chumlee's heart clench. This child didn't deserve to live like this. "How can you take care of Jack, make these things, and sell them?" Chumlee asked. Sarah shook her head slightly. "I don't have a choice. I tried to find a steady job, but I couldn't because I had to take care of my son. If I didn't sit here selling, I wouldn't know what to do. Jack needs me, and I can't let my son go without." Shh! Chumlee looked at Sarah, feeling the determination in her voice, but also couldn't help but notice the obvious fatigue. He thought about what she had been through, about how she had done everything she could, but still couldn't get out of her predicament. He felt a strong urge that this was the time for him to act, that there was a way to help her. He thought for a moment, then looked at Sarah with a determined gaze. Chumlee spoke, his voice gentle but also certain. I will buy all of your goods today. Treat yourself and your son to an early leave day today. Sarah was surprised, her eyes wide, as if she couldn't believe what she had just heard. She looked at Chumlee for a moment, not knowing what to say. Honestly, she didn't think anyone would want to buy all of their crafts in one day, especially in the current situation. You want to buy them all? She asked, her voice hesitant but not hiding her emotion. Chumlee nodded, smiling softly. I will buy everything so you can spend time with your son. You don't have to worry about finding customers anymore. A warm feeling spread through Sarah's heart. Chumlee's offer was like a ray of light, shining into her dark life, a light that she didn't think could come from a stranger. At that moment, she could only look at him with gratitude, speechless. Thank you so much, Sarah said softly, her eyes shining with emotion. You have no idea. This helps me a lot. Chumlee smiled, saying nothing more. A gentle satisfaction rose in his heart, not because of the material value of the items, but because he had been able to do something to help a mother in need. Chumlee said, his voice was soft but determined. You know, I think these items deserve to be known more, and I also believe that you deserve a chance. Sarah stood up, feeling a little awkward facing Chumlee. She was not used to other people expressing such concern, especially a stranger. But the enthusiasm in his voice and eyes made her feel something different. Chumlee was not like the hurried passers-by she had met. They just glanced and walked on without caring. Chumlee continued, so why don't you try selling in other places? In more crowded areas? Sarah pursed her lips, her eyes becoming distant. I have tried. Many times I go to the markets to sell, but the buyers may not be interested in these small handicrafts. Besides, I can't always find free time to go there. Because Jack, she paused, looking at her son. He was still sitting silently next to his mother, holding a small bracelet made from yarn that Sarah had just finished this morning. Chumlee also looked at him. When seeing Jack, anyone would feel sad. Jack needs you, right? Chumlee spoke up, breaking the silence. Sarah nodded, her heart choking. Yes, I can't let my son lack love and care. But life is really difficult now. A stable job is what I need. But I can't work all day because Jack is still too young to take care of himself. He needs me. Chumlee listened. He could see the resilience in Sarah's eyes, but he could also sense the deep weariness in her voice. It was weariness that came not only from having to do everything alone, but also from worrying about the future. Chumlee couldn't just stand by and watch. He didn't know why he was so drawn to them, but he felt a strange urge to do something, to help them. So have you thought about selling these items online? Chumlee asked, suddenly struck by an idea. I think a lot of people would want to buy these items if they knew about them. Sarah looked at Chumlee, a look of surprise flashing across her face. Online? But I don't know where to start. I don't have much experience with technology, and I don't have enough money to hire someone to help me. Chumlee smiled, feeling a deep connection with Sarah at that moment. Don't worry about that. I'll help you. Just give me these products, and I'll put them in my store and start promoting them. I can help you create a website to sell these items. You don't have to worry about the cost or the technicalities. We'll do it together. Sarah looked at Chumlee silently, not knowing what to say. She didn't think there would be someone willing to help her like this, especially since he didn't know anything about her before. She felt a little confused, but also filled with hope. Could this be the opportunity she had been waiting for? Thank you. I don't know what to say. You're so kind, as Sarah said, her voice breaking. but I don't want to bother you." "It's no bother. If I can help you, I will. I think you deserve this chance," Chumlee replied, softly but sincerely. "With these things, you can go a long way, and I believe they will be loved. Let me help you." Sarah looked at him, finally unable to hide the emotion in her heart. A warm feeling welled up in her heart. She didn't know what the future would hold, but today, she knew that she wouldn't have to face the hardships alone anymore. And maybe her and Jack's lives would change from here on out. Sarah looked into Chumlee's eyes, not knowing what to say. She had heard so many empty promises before, but this time, there was something in his voice that made her feel like things could be different. He wasn't just a passerby. He seemed to genuinely care about what she was going through. She felt like a door had opened, and a new future was beginning to take shape. Sarah said, her voice breaking, "I don't know what to say. I never thought someone would help me without expecting anything in return." She looked at him, her heart filled with emotion. She didn't know what to do in return, but a new hope had sprouted in her heart. It wasn't just hope for selling her crafts, but hope for a better life for her and Jack. Sarah wasn't someone who trusted easily, but Chumlee made her feel safe, as if he truly understood and shared the hardships she was going through. Sarah felt relieved. Part of her was still skeptical, but the rest of her was starting to believe. Chumlee was not just a stranger. He was an opportunity, someone who could help her overcome the challenges she had faced all this time. She looked at Chumlee and smiled slightly, as if a heavy stone in her heart had been lifted. "So, where do I start?" Sarah asked, suddenly filled with determination. She couldn't let this opportunity pass her by. Chumlee nodded in satisfaction. "We'll start tomorrow. You send me your products. Meanwhile, I'll start working on the website and promotional campaigns. You don't have to worry about any expenses. We'll do everything together, from taking photos of the items to creating content for the website." Sarah felt a newfound confidence rise in her. She was no longer alone. It wasn't just her and Jack struggling through this difficult life. Now, she had a true companion who not only helped her through it, but also gave her the opportunity to completely change her life. "Thank you, Chumlee. Thank you so much. I'll never forget this," as Sarah said, her eyes filled with gratitude and appreciation. "I'll do my best." Chumlee smiled and patted Sarah on the shoulder. "No need to thank me. Everyone deserves a chance, and I'm just helping you find that chance." When Sarah looked at Chumlee, she saw not just a kind man, but a ray of hope, a light shining on the path ahead. And with every step she took, she knew that her future with Jack would never be the same again. After a while, Chumlee guided her on how to use and operate the website, and now she can do it herself. She is no longer worried about not having enough money to pay for Jack's tuition, or not knowing what to do to improve her life. Her handicrafts were now attracting a lot of attention from customers. Every day, Sarah received positive messages and comments from customers on online platforms. Every time a new order was shipped, Sarah felt like it was another step forward in her quest for a better life for her and Jack. Chumlee was right. These things deserve to be known. But Sarah thought, looking at the product photos she posted on the website and social media, she found herself starting to believe in something she had never dared to dream of before. A future that was no longer so difficult. Meanwhile, Sarah's son, Jack, was now able to go to school comfortably. He no longer had to sit on the side of the road waiting for someone to buy his mother's crafts. He was able to participate in school activities, play with friends, and study like other children. Sarah would occasionally see Jack laughing with his classmates, and her happiness was filled with memories of those difficult days when making a living was just a never-ending battle. Now, she can rest assured about her son's future. Not only will Jack be able to study, but she will also be able to take care of him properly, without worrying about expenses or an uncertain future. One day, while checking orders on her website, Sarah received a call from Chumlee. "Hi, Sarah. I just wanted to call to see how things are going." Sarah felt an indescribable happiness. "It's going great. It's all happening so fast, and I can't believe how much my life has changed. Thank you for not giving up and believing in me." Chumlee chuckled. "You don't have to thank me. You're the one who did it all. Your crafts are truly amazing, and I'm just the one who helped you bring them to the world. You did the hardest work, and now you're getting the rewards." "Shh," Sarah said with emotion in her voice. "I will work hard and never give up. You've helped me change my life, and I will do everything I can to make sure my son has a better future." Chumlee just smiled and said, "That's all I wanted to hear. Keep moving forward. Sarah, you can do it." Sarah felt very grateful. She not only received financial help from Chumlee, but also received a priceless gift: spiritual support and belief in her abilities. She proved to herself that, with faith and perseverance, everything can change. She used to fear that she would always be a single mother, struggling with life. But now, she realized that she deserved a chance to change. And that chance did not come from luck, but from the help and trust that others placed in her. The handicrafts that she used to make vaguely have now become a source of pride and a foundation for her to build a stable life for herself and her son. Chumlee's call helped Sarah realize that his help was not only material actions, but also encouragement and spiritual support, helping her overcome the most difficult times. Chumlee helped her see her worth, and that was priceless. With Chumlee's help, Sarah not only got through the difficult period, but also thrived more than ever. This unexpected success made Sarah feel like a dream come true. She not only sold her products, but also built a personal brand, a distinct mark from simple but emotional handmade items. Sarah began to feel more confident in herself and realized the true value of the work she did. Her handmade items not only brought in income, but also became a way for her to share her own story. Each bracelet or scarf contains the love and care she has for her son, and now they have become meaningful gifts for those who find beauty in simplicity.